Paul Farbrace, first game back in Division 1 for 9 years. What did you make of it?
I think it's a very good performance for us. I think a lot of confidence from the way we played. The one thing that we've talked a lot about is going into the last day of 4-day games, and I've talked to you a lot over the last couple of years about, our goal is to go into the 4th day of the game with a chance of winning the game, and we had that chance today. We went in with 200 runs advantage, 3 down. The tricky thing was setting a target where you felt that they were in it enough, because the wicket was a good pitch still. The odd one spun, the odd one kept a bit low, which you'd expect on the 4th day of a game. But the short boundary was the thing that probably was our most challenging thing. And we said we were back normally till lunchtime and then reassess at lunchtime. And then we had a little period where we didn't score, and it got harder to score. And you think, is that an opportunity for us to bowl? I think in the end we decided 15 points from the first game is a good return. And I think one of the things, if you look at Division 1, you will get more draws. I think if when you're in Division 2, you can afford to perhaps set games up knowing that it's all about trying to win them. When you've also got relegation to think about as well, and I'm not talking about relegation after one game, but you know that if you can take 15 points from a game consistently, you're going to put yourself in a really good position. So we actually felt that, a good solid draw, a lot of good performances in the game. John Simpson played brilliantly. Tom Clark, obviously, exceptional in the first innings. Coles's looked good in both innings. Great to see Tom also get runs second innings. But I think both of our openers, they didn't get big scores. The intent in which they played was excellent. Carson, magnificent throughout. Sills got better as the game went on. I mean, the second innings, absolutely outstanding. Oliver bowled an excellent spell for us yesterday morning, getting Yates out, and then unfortunately having Mousley dropped. That was his best spell of the game. So there was a lot of things in the game that I think we'll say we're a better team for the experience. But more importantly, I think within our own dressing room, it's all very well me talking about us being confident and positive, but actually the players have got to believe that. And I think if you come away from a place like Edgbaston against a team who've been consistently in Division 1 for a number of years now, they missed a couple of their bowlers, but they're still a very good side. And they've still got a lot of quality in their team. You look at the depth of their batting, and to bowl them out on that pitch and then give ourselves a lead of 70 odd. I think we've had a good 4 days, and I think we've learnt a lot about ourselves as a team, in the sense that we can play and we can compete at this level. And I think there was 1 or 2 nerves around first morning, as you'd expect, and you start well, you're 30 odd for none, 40 for 1, and all of a sudden you're 40 for 3. But the resilience that the team showed, and the way that Coles counter-punched back against them, was excellent. And I just think we've done a lot of really good things well. I enjoyed our intensity. I've enjoyed the effort we put in, which you'd expect. But in terms of when it went flat, we still kept our intensity, we kept our enthusiasm, and we kept plugging away and trying to do the best we could. So I think it's been a good 4 days for us.
And I was going to say, actually, Paul, from 40 for 3, you'd have taken 15 points from this game.
Oh, absolutely, yeah. And that's, as I say, there's a lot of unknown, I guess, for some of our players who've not played in Division 1. We've got 3 more big games. I said before the season started, this first month in many ways is a really exciting month for us. Come to Edgbaston and Trentbridge, our 2 away games, and then play Somerset and Surrey at home, arguably the best teams in county cricket for the last 5 years. That's the sort of start you want. You want to play against the best players. And some of our players coming off today, talk about how good a player Hayne is, how well Yates played. There's good players in Division 1, and you're not going to get freebie wickets. You're not going to get freebie spells of bowling either. So I think, as I say, in terms of realising we can play at this level and actually taking confidence in the game, I think it's been a really good 4 days for us. We're not getting carried away by all means, and we're not starting to say, oh well, we're a Division 1 team. What we're saying is we know that we can compete at this level, and then our job will be to work out how we can start to put a bit more pressure on the opposition, and can we be a bit smarter in certain situations and give ourselves a better chance of winning.
Somerset coming up next, game coming thick and fast. Any injuries or any concerns at all, Paul, going into that?
Ollie Robinson's got a sore foot, so the sole of his foot's a bit sore, so that will be one that we'll need to monitor. Other than that, I think we should be okay. But we'll travel back to Hove tonight, the day off tomorrow, a bit of recovery for them, and then we've got Wednesday, Thursday to prep and prepare for Friday. But again, I mean, we should be, first game of Division 1 at home to Somerset, as I say, we've been one of the best teams. That we know they've got a lot of good players, and we're all looking forward to it. And I think members and supporters will be looking forward to the first game of Division 1 for a while at Hove. We've had great weather so far. Let's hope the weather stays kind to us. We know we're going to get a good pitch because the pitches are well prepared and we know how we're going to play on them. And we've got a good balanced team, so let's hope we have a little bit of good fortune with 1 and 2, and we're all raring to go come Friday.